with the COVID pandemic travel restriction being lifted, I now get to see my mum.
Hi, beautiful. So good to see you.
Good to see you too.
Missed you.
And you guys now get to meet my mum.
Hello, everyone. I'm Leon.
Yes. So, do you guys remember how I was telling you that Mum and I have started doing this buddy read thing together that I'm calling Mum and Me? I call it Mum and Me. Yeah. So now you guys actually get to meet her. So we're going to talk a bit about what I've been reading and what she's been reading. Now, the last thing we both buddy read was From Scratch.
Yeah.
And that was...
Temby Lock.
Yeah, Temby Lock. And I really enjoyed that. Did you enjoy
that was
it?
good.
Yeah, it was really, really good. So what are you currently reading at the moment?
So currently I'm reading
Oh.
Nonna Knows Best.
Oh, yep.
And I initially thought it would have recipes and stuff in it as well. And it doesn't. So that was a big surprise. But what I have learned is it's Nonna's telling you the stories of life that you should all know in your 20s and whatever, what will happen, what they've gone through, and how they try to help the younger generations to get through what needs to be done. So it's actually really cool how Nonnas look after their family.
Oh, wow. How beautiful. Oh, good. Well, I'm glad that you enjoyed it. It seems a bit surprising, but yeah. Excellent. All right. On the other end of the spectrum, so you guys know I'm currently reading Allegiant, the third book in the Divergent series. I'm not actually there. Once again, the second day in a row, I've got the bookmark in the wrong spot. But I'm further than this, but where my bookmark sits currently is page 254, which is chapter 24. Okay, you guys, I'm not happy. Because, well, book one, Divergent, was really good. Basically, we're set in a world where everyone gets to choose one of 5 factions to live in, and each of the factions stamps something different. Like, one is benevolence, one is fearlessness, one is mental smarts and stuff like that. And then in book 2, the factions kind of end, and now we've got book 3, and I kind of feel like book 3 is kind of pointless. We're not really doing much in book 3.
Okay.
We're just kind of hanging around doing nothing.
So is this the last book in the series?
It is. This is the last one. So I have a goal that I set between October and December of this year to close out any open-ended series that I have. So this being the last one will help me finish it off. So I'm about, am I about? Well, yeah, actually. I'm over halfway through this book, which is good. So I did consider DNFing it, putting it down and picking up the next book I'm going to read, The Toll. But I've decided I will stick it out because I've only read 4 one-star books for the entire year. So I'm going to finish this off. And if it doesn't improve, I'll do a ranting review with you guys and let you know my thoughts on it in a spoiler-free and spoiler way. And if it does improve, then yay, that will be a good thing. But, yeah, so that's where things currently stand at the moment. But all in all, I'm just really happy to be here to see you. We haven't seen each other since, before March. Since the lockdown.
Yeah, I can't stop smiling.
I know, it's so good.
Yeah, I missed him.
Yay. Well, thank you for joining me on the video. So Mum is, we have the buddy reads, as I said, we do the Mum and Me, and Mum is part of my Mr. Fancy buddy reads as well. So, as you guys know, we had the book, Talking as Fast as I Can, but you're not going to read that one anymore, which is totally fine. But do you want to explain to everyone why?
Yeah, so it literally is what the title says. She speaks so fast.
Yeah, so Mum was listening to the book, the audio version of the book, by Lauren Graham, and yeah, she's talking too quickly.
Yeah, and believe me, I brought up a son who can talk way faster than Lauren. And there are times where I can really put up with it. Mm-hmm. But right now I have some health issues, so I really can't.
So fair enough.
Yeah.
But currently you're reading a book that I read a while ago, Home by Julie Andrews, because you guys, I would not have known about my mentor Julie Andrews without my mum. She introduced me to The Sound of Music and to Mary Poppins and to Julie Andrews in general, so thank you.
Yeah, what I like about Julie Andrews is the way she speaks.
Yes.
She, what's it called?
Articulates.
Elocutes.
Yeah, and has great elocution.
Oh,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Oh, yes.
And I find that so hard in this world. This is so missing. People just don't seem to want to learn how to speak.
Right.
And English is not my first language. Dutch is actually my first language.
Yep.
So, but listening to her, and how, and she didn't have a rich upbringing either. So it doesn't have to be from, if you're rich you talk properly, if you're poor you don't. And I'm not saying all poor people don't talk properly. Sorry,
No,
I'm not saying that at all.
Yeah.
Because but with both my children, I have a daughter as well. I have never done the McNunnus. We always went to McDonald's.
Yes, exactly.
So I've always spoken properly to my kids from whatever age they were.
Yeah.
So, and I think that's important.
I agree, and that is why I speak the way that I speak, because the English language is so very important to me, and I'm always searching for the right terminology to use rather than using a colloquialism or slang. And that is because I was brought up to speak properly. And I really do appreciate that you've done that. And thank you. Because, I know a lot of people who don't do that. So, yay, so thanks. Okay, I quickly also wanted to, because it would be nice to have you back in the vlogs again. But I wanted to let you guys know, or give you a heads up, that in December, the Mr. Fancy Buddy Read has been inspired by something that my mum introduced me to a very long time ago. Now, we spoke about this recently in one of my videos, guys, how my mum, a long time ago when VHS existed, back in my day, recorded a midday film called The Christmas Box.
Oh, it's beautiful.
Oh, yes. So as you guys know, I now have that book, and what did you
I'm
think
waiting to get it.
of the book? Yeah, I know you're waiting to get it,
Oh,
but you thought it
I
looked
love
beautiful.
yours. Yeah. I can't wait to get mine.
It's a beautiful edition. Yeah, so Mum's
Yeah.
getting a copy as well. We're going to be reading that in December. So if you guys want to join us, I'll have the link and all the information to join our buddy group down below. But yeah, I'm really, really excited about
It's
that
a
one.
really good time to read it. It's really made for the end of the year. It makes you reflect on what you have and what you haven't got, and just, miracles do happen. I mean, I'm about to move into a miracle myself. So
So Mum's been staying in this place for a little while, and she's about to move into her permanent new place, and she's been here for a while, so that's happening soon. You excited?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Can't wait to leave this place.
Yeah.
I want to go home.
Yes.
So I lived at this. I lived on Rockland for 32 years. I moved out, and I've been moved out for about a year and a half now. And so they're building some units, and I'm living in one of the units, and I can't wait to go home. So this was never home.
Right. So it's really interesting because Mum and I have been talking a lot, especially this year, about reading, and I will ask you something else after I talk about this, but we've been talking about reading, and I've been asking Mum about books and things, and books that I want to get her, and she said to me, once I'm in my home, once I'm in the new place, then we get all the books out, and we can put them all in the bookshelf. You can see a couple of books here, but mostly this bookshelf is empty. So we're going to fill up the bookshelf, and Mum can do all the reading, and yeah, it's going to be a lot of fun. But one thing I do want to say, because I need to take advantage of you being here in the vlog, is that you know me better than anyone, obviously. You've seen me since I was 1 day old. You can vouch for me and tell everyone out there watching how I didn't just stumble across reading this year. This is something I've done all my life. I've always loved reading. It's always been a passion of mine.
Yeah, I mean, Harry Potter, when that came out, was ballistic.
Yes, it was.
But Harry Potter is not what made Francois read. Francois was a reader even in primary school and kinder. Now, here's a story for you.
Yeah.
I'm not going to throw him under the bus, but this is a nice reading story.
Here we go.
So, he had somebody from kinder coming over to play. And he told this poor child, because I picked him up from school, and this child came with us straight away. And he said to this child, you need to give me 10 minutes because I do need to read before we can play.
It sounds like me.
And it really happens. And I promise you, this child never came to play again. But so that was Francois when he was at kinder.
Yep. Fast forward to me where I'm at
35.
now. Yeah, 35. I've had those moments, like I've been talking to you guys, especially with my second favorite book of the year, The Final Empire, how when I was reading that book, there were times, because this was prior to the pandemic, I was reading it in the end of February, and there were times when I was around groups of people where even though the right thing to do was sit there, listen, talk to everyone, I just wanted to pick up my book and go in a corner and continue reading, because that's how much reading means to me. It's not to say that I'm an antisocial person. For the majority of my life, as far as career-wise, I've worked in professions that have to do with customer service. I love working with people, I do. But I love reading so much that I can just get lost in the world. There was a time, did I ever tell you this story? So, back when I was younger and living with Mum, I was taking transport because the train station was like not even a 5-minute walk from where Mum lived. So I would take the train to and from school. And one day I was coming home, this is when I was at the senior campus. I was coming home and I was reading a Harry Potter book. And I ended up completely missing the train stop because I was so engrossed in the book. And I looked up, and basically I looked up because an announcer was saying over the PA speakers, "We're coming to the last stop now, end of the line."
You got to break it in.
Huh? Yeah. Yeah.
Oh wow, that's a good half an hour on the train.
Yeah. Because I was so engrossed in the book that I didn't realise I'd missed the stop.
And you didn't miss it on the way back?
Oh, on the way back, I purposely put the book in my bag. I was like, okay, I need to put the book in my bag and I'll read it when I get home. But you can even vouch for how... So when I was younger in my room, my mum bought me one of those fold-out chairs, which had a little cup dispenser thing on the side, which is great, you know, always good to hydrate. And that fold-out chair would kind of sit under my window, so I would have the direct sunlight coming in. And there would be days, especially during school holidays, where I would have breakfast, then I would go to my room, read all day, and only come out for lunch and dinner because I need to come out for lunch or dinner, but otherwise I was there the whole day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, if for some odd reason we had a world with no books,
Yeah, oh god, we're such a bad world.
I don't think it will last very long.
No, I don't think I would either.
What I do like is that you're also into the classics, you know?
Yes.
I don't know if you want to say what I'm going to give for Christmas, but...
No, that's okay, you can. You can say that.
So...
Yeah, so as you guys know, one of my goals for 2021 is to give classics another go. For those of you who did not know this, in March I read The Great Gatsby. I read it, I DNF'd it, I picked it up again because people convinced me to, DNF'd it again, watched the movie, did not feel bad at all about DNFing it because it's just not my type of book. But then a couple of months later I realised I wasn't giving classics a fair enough of a go. So in 2021 I definitely plan on reading a certain amount of classics to give them a fair chance. And Mum, who is being so supportive of me, is getting me a book for Christmas, which I love, thank you.
you're getting me a beautiful book too.
Yes! So, Mum's getting me a classic book. So, do you guys remember me showing you that version of Beauty and the Beast that I have? I think they're called Puffin Press or something. The Puffin Press pop-up interactive version. Mum's getting me the Little Mermaid.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Little Mermaid and Other Fairy Tales. So I'm really happy about that, thank you.
Yeah.
And I am getting Mum, you guys. Okay, now we need to talk here. You guys know that recently I finished reading Words of Radiance, which is in the one book binder, a double tome. For those of you who don't know, a double tome, it's a over 1,000 page count. I am getting my mum a triple tome cookbook from Tuscany. So this book is 1,500 pages long.
And I promised to read it.
Yes. So I haven't read 1,500 pages, but my mum will. Maybe we can have you come back to the vlog and you can tell us how the book goes and what it was like reading a 1,500 word triple tome.
I like to thank you about something because something happened this year.
Oh.
And unlike Francois, I'm not a reader. And my problem is not that I don't want to read. I have hypersomnia, which is similar to narcolepsy. So when I sit with a book, I fall asleep. After talking to Francois, he's going, no, we need to get you onto Audible. So now I found out if I crochet and read Audible, then I can stay awake and I actually remember it as well. So thank you so much. You've seriously done that this year. I can read again. I can read. So yeah. Thank you.
Oh.
I haven't read for years, so yeah.
Yay.
Big breakthrough.
Oh, you're so welcome. Oh my goodness. So it's a funny thing because in March when I was doing my monthly wrap up, I was saying to you guys how I wanted to join Audible, but for whatever reason, they just didn't want to have me as a customer, which means I put in all my details and they were saying that my card information was incorrect. They kept saying this is not right, even though it was right. Like, okay, maybe they just don't want me as a customer. Anyway, I tried it again in April, and just as an off thing, thinking, you know what, they're not going to accept me, but I'll try it. And they accepted me, wouldn't you believe it? So yeah, here's the thing, you guys. There are some people out there who... I don't want to judge people, but I will say this. There are some people out there who can be rather narrow-minded, who say that those who read audio versions of books aren't actually reading. And I have said this, I've been very vocal about this topic for a long time with you guys now, by saying that any type of reading experience is still a reading experience. Whether it be that you're listening to the audio version, whether you're reading an ebook, whether you're reading a physical book, you are still getting the story. And I think for someone like you, and I think it's so beautiful and wonderful of you to explain your situation and why an audio version of a book is so beneficial to you.
Yeah.
So thank you. For someone like my mum, without having something like Audible, she either wouldn't be motivated to read or wouldn't be able to read. So this is allowing her to consume the book. And I don't see what the difference is. I can read this physical book. My mum could, for example, listen to it on Audible. We could still be talking about the same book. We're just consuming it in different ways, but we're still reading. And I am so happy that you're enjoying it and that you're getting back into reading because of it. So there's a big shout out for Audible as well, you guys. You're welcome. Well, that is where we are going to leave it, you guys. But thank you so much for joining us. I am going to be here with my family and with some friends while I now am able to. So I'll check in again with you guys tomorrow for more on this reading vlog, and we'll see.
By the way, if you want to know any Francois questions, just type them down and, you know, I can answer them for you.
Leave them in the comments below. My mum will respond. Oh, bless. Thank you. Well, thank you very much for being
so welcome.
here. I really appreciate it. And we'll definitely have you come back again soon.
Anytime.
Yay. All right, guys. Thank you so much. And as always, letting you guys go with peace, blessings, and so, so, so much love. Mwah.
Best wishes to you all.
Yes. And happy reading. Bye, guys. Bye.